Hi, George here. The show you're about to watch was produced before the pandemic, which explains why no one's wearing a mask. Now, a lot of the places I visit are still in the process of reopening, but once things are safe and back to normal, I highly encourage you to check them out and support them. So with that said, enjoy the show. My name is George Igo, and throughout my entire life, my travel ambitions have always outweighed my bank account. But with some research, planning, and a little creativity, I find the best things to do in a city, all without spending more than $100. This is George Goes Everywhere. Hello and welcome to George Goes Everywhere, the show where we explore a city and see as much of it as we can, all without spending more than $100. I'm in Philadelphia today and I have 6 categories I want to hit. History, food, drink, people, art, and nature. Now, Philly is a city rich in history, so I'm going to hit all those categories, but I'm also going to do it chronologically from the past to the present. That's why I'm starting here in Alfreds Alley, the oldest residential street in the US, dating back to 1706. And to get things started right, there's a tiny museum here with era-appropriate clothes that you get to try on. This is right up my alley. All right, let's see what they got. No. Ooh, I think we have a winner. Well, all right, look at this. It's pretty snazzy. Kind of like it. But sadly, I cannot wear this for the rest of the episode. As the birthplace of America, Philly has a ton of history in a really small area, but it's almost too much, you know? Like, I kind of don't know where to begin. That is where the Philadelphia Constitutional comes in. The Constitutional is a 2.5 mile walk that hits like 30 different historical sites, so let's see what it's got. Library Hall, Carpenter's Hall, Philosophical Hall, Old City Hall, the Benjamin Franklin Museum, the National Constitution Center, the United States Mint, Declaration House, where Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, the Liberty Bell, which is back in that building somewhere, but the line's way too long for me, the Betsy Ross House, the Ben Franklin Post Office, and the Independence Visitor Center, which I guess isn't history, but hey, still here. Well, all right, I think the Philly Constitutional was a complete success, but there is one more thing I want to check out, the Museum of the American Revolution. It's arranged chronologically, now we're getting into the actual war itself. Stuff's about to get real. Liberty tree in the middle of the building? I mean, it's a fake tree, but it's still cool. Ooh, I like this one. It's like George Washington breaking up a fight between soldiers. He's like a bouncer at a bar. Holy hell, look at this guy. You walk around, there's mannequins staring at you from weird vantage points. Oh, here we go. Got a giant ship from the era. I'm into this. Every museum needs just a little bit of kitsch. I'm a firm believer in that. Just a little bit of kitsch goes a long way. Ahoy there! We've reached the end, writing and ratifying the Constitution, establishing the country, and we even get to meet the future of the American Revolution. Hey, it's me! But enough history, let's fast forward 100 years and get to something a little different. Come on, you knew this is where this was headed. This is McGillins Old Ale House, the oldest bar in Philly dating back to 1860. Now, all this American history has me feeling patriotic, and luckily they have the perfect thing for that. This is the red, white, and blue cocktail. Not really the kind of thing I'd usually get. It's a lot more colorful than I'm used to. This is 3 colors, much more than my customary 1. Jeez, I hope no one I know comes in here and sees me drinking a tri-colored drink. I'd have some splaining to do. Actually, who cares? Yeah, I'm drinking a tri-colored drink. Who are they to judge me? One of the things I discovered in my research wasn't a place at all, it's a word. And that word is John. And it caught my attention because it's unlike any other word in the English language. John is an all-purpose word that can mean literally anything. People, places, things, events, concepts, whatever you want. So that John is going down to the John to get some Johns is a perfectly acceptable sentence in Philadelphia. Now, if you're confused by all this, well, so was I. So here's a few more examples. Independence Hall could be that history John. The Rocky Steps could be that movie John. And the John Coltrane House could be that John. And I find this fascinating. It's like they've created a word that means both nothing and everything all at the same time. It's really quite a feat. But enough of this John right here. It's time to head off to another John that I've been looking forward to. I'm down on South Street now, and back in the 60s and 70s, this area wasn't so great, but that's when an artist named Isaiah Zagar moved in and started making tile mosaics across buildings all over the neighborhood. But then after many years of doing that, eventually he bought some property of his own and opened up the Magic Gardens. I'm out in a mini courtyard area and I'm literally looking for any place that's not tiled and I can't find one. See, even the bathroom is mosaicked. No surface has been left unadorned. It's like a maze. Everywhere you go, there's different tunnels and pathways you can go and, oh, that's a dead end. I've always thought that M&Ms were an underrated mosaic material. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but I've never seen M&M art anywhere. Missed opportunity if you ask me. When it comes to food in Philly, yeah, they got cheesesteaks. We all know that, we all get that. I'm not gonna waste your time with that. No, I'd like to waste your time in an entirely different way. See, back in 2003, a culinary genius invented the Philly taco. It's hard to explain, but it's basically a cheesesteak wrapped in a slice of pizza. Okay, I guess it's not that hard to explain. Now, I wasn't able to find any place that actually has the guts to sell this beast, so I procured the fixins myself, and I'm gonna make it on my own. All right, so what you do is you wrap this John in that John, and you got yourself a Philly taco. Yeah, there we go. Perfect fit. Oh, yeah. This is actually better than I was expecting. It essentially just makes it a really bready cheesesteak, if that makes sense. This combines two of my favorite things, gluttony and building things. You know, I thought it would be good. I didn't necessarily think it would be, like, better than the sum of its parts, though. I thought you have cheesesteak, you have pizza. They'll taste good together, but they would also taste good separately. But I think these are actually better together. This John really needs to be more popular. Well, we've finally reached modern times in our chronological tour of Philly. I've come to Greensgrove Urban Farm, where they've taken the industrial cityscape of the past couple hundred years and turned back the clock and made it a farm again. It's so funny, because on one side of the street you have houses and garages, and then on this side of the street you have an urban farm. It's just an oasis in the middle of the city. High tunnel number 3. Oh boy, I shudder to think what they're growing in here. Oh, okay, no, it's just lettuce. Nothing to be concerned about. They also have some free-range chickens here, and they let us feed them some apple cores. I mean, this place is great. It's like a combination garden and interactive zoo. But the best thing they have here is probably Milkshake the pig. Hey, Milkshake. Come here, buddy. It's adorable. He comes running to you like a dog. Now, you're not allowed to actually feed him because he's got really sharp teeth, but they did feed him in front of us, and it's like maybe the cutest thing ever. Okay, I got one last thing I gotta do. I spoke to a friend who lives here, and he commented on the number of outdoor festival type things there are in this city, that there's basically something going on every single weekend, and this weekend it's a cider and donut festival, and that is a combination I simply cannot refuse. With Johns like this happening every weekend, the future in Philly is bright.